Hello there, this is only One Kenobi, only one. This is probably going to be the last for a while, actually, maybe a couple of weeks. I need time to do these shows, you see. They do take a while to produce, as a lot of you have noticed, and I do love doing them. So a bit of housekeeping before we start, just to let you know that I've scrambled this episode together on what has been a very busy weekend. And I will probably take I've already sort of taken 2 weeks off anyway since the last one. I will take another kind of break of maybe 4 weeks. I don't know, maybe not. I'll just have to do them as and when. But I will be a lot freer in about 4 or 5 weeks' time anyway. So that's all. I'm just giving you the heads up on. Also, a little bit of housekeeping, if I may. As you know, there's a section of this show called One Voice, and it's been brilliant because I have been asking people to send me voice messages. And what you've done is you've asked me a question or put an opinion forward, and I have responded accordingly. And it's been great. Not only has it been good to instigate a bit of discussion on certain topics, but it's been nice to hear how you all sound. But I do want to emphasize to anybody who doesn't want to do that, just leave a comment, you know. If you want to ask a question or make a point of view or anything, please leave it below in this comment section or in the previous episode, and I will endeavour to get back to you. No problem, you know. For example, the Red Fox said, if you could look into the future and had to pick 10 Star Wars items to keep forever and never part with, what would be your choice and why would that be the thing to keep? Would be interesting to see a video on that. And indeed, Red Fox, man, I would do a whole video on that, which would probably take about 10 minutes to get through that.
So that's a bad example. This is a better example. This is a comment from David Edge, and he said, well, firstly, the Last Jedi sucks balls, and he said, more Alan Partridge videos, please.
Well, Alan Partridge's voice has evolved over the years. My impression of Alan kind of goes back to how he sounded in the 90s, really, but still. No, you get my point. If you've got any questions, comments, drop them in the comments section and I will reply to them. Always a pleasure. On other news, it's been a very interesting couple of weeks watching Kenobi and stuff, so I'm looking forward to seeing the finale next week. On this show, the Spotlight Special will be the A-Wing. A really good ship, as you all know, from the Return of the Jedi, and I have the Legacy Collection one. That's the Arvel Crinid Green Leader one. Brilliant. Also in the show, I will be opening a couple of more retro collection figures, the Luke and the Leia, to go on the shelf, which will be nice. And finally, you know, as I said before, one voice. One, as in Obi-Wan voice. But I do hope you enjoy the show. And finally, there's one other thing I want to tell you, which is that I'm shortly going to be coming up to 1,000 uploads. However, the truth of the matter is I've already done 1,000 uploads, 150 videos you have never seen, but you could get access to them if you become an Only One Kenobi member. Because I used to only be on Patreon, you see, and now I have a YouTube membership as well. So for about 150 videos worth, I uploaded 150 videos for my Patreon members, and I kept them in a playlist. I never gave them access to that playlist, though. I just kept that for my own purposes, you know, to keep them in one place. And I figure, well, those 150 are now up for grabs. You can have them if you are a member. You can be a member for a month and just take them and then go away, as far as I'm concerned. But they are there. There's just backstage videos, me opening posts, little mini tours, certain other things backstage in the Only One Kenobi factory, whatever you want to call it. And they can be yours. And then obviously ongoing, I am still making videos that are exclusive backstage videos for members and stuff like that. So I'm not stopped making those videos. They are going to still be out for, I think it's, if you are a night membership, you get exclusive content. If you are Padawan, you get early access. And if you are, and also at night, you can also get a patch after 2 months. And finally, if you are Master, you get a patch straight away, and only One Kenobi patch. So that's the situation with membership. I was going to do a separate note about membership because I've never really talked about what you can get and what is on offer. So anyway, I'm racing towards 1,000 uploads. I don't know, man. There's only about 10 more left. I'm about 15 away, so it's crazy to think it's been 1,000 only One Kenobi uploads. But still, thank you for listening. I've babbled on way long enough now. I hope you enjoy this latest episode of Only One Fans. I'm Only One Kenobi. Only One. Out. Enjoy the show.
Hi Nick, question for you. If Hasbro approached you and said that they wanted you to work in any department on their Star Wars line and given you free reign over that department, would you take the job? What department would you choose? And what would you do to influence and better that department?
Hello, Stuart. I'm going to get round to finally answering your question. I did have a go of answering this on a live stream recently because it was a good topic to discuss with other people. But if this was like a dream situation whereby I totally got my heart's desires and I was offered a job at Hasbro, I would accept it. But it would only be, my dream job would be just in one division, one area, one property. Star Wars, of course. But it would be for 3 3/4 inch And I am a very passionate fan of this line. I believe in its conservation, protection, and I would make sure if I was working there, one of my priorities would be to put it front and center, because this is not, am I wrong, the first line they ever made, and it's the best. Because not only can we make really good figures now, I just so happen to have these out because I was filming my A-Wing, but also we can include vehicles as well, and elements of world building and all sorts of stuff. It's just incredible. Brilliant diorama pieces, such potential. 6-inch figures are wonderful and everything, but you know, the people who collect them, and I've tried to display them myself and I've hated it because they're bigger, obviously, and I've tried mixing it up, and some people might not mind doing it, but you know, when I think I had a handful, about 10 or 12 figures once when I first moved into this place, and I had like Tarkin next to Darth Maul, and then Jango Fett was in the background, and I was like, I hated the fact that I was blending prequel and trequel? Sorry, let me try that again. Prequel and original trilogy so closely. And one of my other points that I've made about the 6-inch line is, you know, with wrestling figures, they're great in 6-inch. And when you're displaying them, all you need is just a load of blokes just standing there, like these blokes are standing now, posing, but these guys are in a squadron, so they're together, there's uniformity. But I don't understand, it depends on how you want to collect, right? With me, these are smaller, you can spread them, and all these are in some kind of order. These are in order of film. I'm panning upwards from Revenge of the Sith there, but these are the prequels, and they're all together, and I don't have them in massive, you know, crowded shelves. I mean, there's a bit of a cluster there because there's a lot of activity on Kashyyyk, but I like to sort of spread out the events. You know, you've got a bit of Geonosis, then we go into the Battle of Geonosis there, and you know, this is a transition from Phantom Menace into Attack of the Clones there. I just think it's wonderful and it works, and that's just me. I'm just talking for me there. If you want to jam-pack your shelves full of a mix of different... I know people get loads of clones on one shelf and they've got loads of pilots or blah-de-blah. It's really up to you, but the other issue I've always had with 6-inch is that when they first announced it, the figures were not that good back when they first made the 6-inch line, but it seemed to be that a lot of people who used to be 3 3/4-inch fans just jumped on it. And I thought, what, are they insane? Do you not realize that they're trying to take your money? What are you going to do? You're going to rebuy everything you already have in a different scale? No chance, man. And don't forget how good these figures are. These are wonderful. The most modern figures that they have released will give the 6-inch a run for their money, man. I mean, they're just as good, if not better, in a lot of cases. Look at this Darth Maul here. So if I worked at Hasbro, my priority would be 3 3/4-inch, and I would fight with a lot of determination to keep it in the foreground. I would remind them that it is the legacy scale. I'm sure one hopes they know that, but it seems to be that they're trying to, I don't know, there's times when we're on top, and there's times when you think, are they trying to get rid of us? My biggest concern right now is the fact that the retro collection might be what they want to go with for the scale. And all their detailed figures, like these are detailed, are going to be reserved for 6-inch. But I think that's just a joke. Because don't forget, you can't have a Millennium Falcon in the 6-inch line. Or any of this. You could try, but you need a mansion for it. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. They'd never make it. So that's why I love the 3 3/4-inch line. If they asked me to do the job, I'd say yes. But I'd have to wave a magic wand. And it would have to be specifically just for this line and this franchise.
Okay, Nick, here's a question for you. About condition, if you look at your figures, what do you go for now going forward? I know you've mentioned in the past, you looked at some of your figures that you bought and maybe they had a ding and that. And like, how much more fickle are you now going forward? Maybe if you guys can show, if you have another live stream, get a couple people on, show us some figures that, you know, what conditions you would go for if you're buying some of the older TVC 1.0s, and then obviously the newer ones. But I mean, I'm sure you'd want them all perfect C9s, whatever.
Oh, Darth Wizard, this is now the time I want to answer your question, because I have these two hands out here because I was about to produce a video whereby I'm going to open this hand here, which I've never had that figure loose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video of what is the best Han Solo 3 3/4 inch, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to sort of like open one of the ones behind you as well. There's loads of contenders for the best Han, and we always hope, fingers crossed, that they're going to give us the definitive in TVC. But with regards like me and how I open stuff now, it is a nightmare and I tear my hair out. Look at these two hands here, right? These are two figures carded figures that I still haven't decided which of these two I'm going to open. On the left, we've got this one here. I think is in a better condition, this card pack, in all honesty. Although when I go into a different room with different lighting, I'll find a blemish on this that I couldn't see on that one. But look at this, carded, this one looks worse. He's kind of like looking over from his left to right, I think, and then I think his eyes are dodgy. This one here looks better carded. I mean, I'd sooner this one loose, right? Because he's looking dead ahead. He looks like a good figure, loose. But he looks so good carded that I'd be tempted to sort of like keep this one carded, but I mean, they're only minuscule. The damage on these, there's not much in it at all. There's like, where is it now? One of them's got like a tiny hairline fracture, but a scratch. Like, there it is, that's on this other one. And what I find now, man, is when I've got the pick of the bunch, or a pick of multiple, it's worse. As opposed to years ago, when I first started collecting TVC, I didn't care. I just thought to myself, right, I've got a Jango Fett now, he's unpunched. That was all I really cared about, if it was unpunched or not. And then I would just move on. But actually, I was mortified. The other week, I was in my carded room, and I opened something that's probably not been taken out of the star case for like, I don't know, 4 years now since I first bought it. And I saw this crease on, I thought, oh my God, I never even knew it had that crease, because I didn't look for stuff like that years ago. I just sort of like thought, right, I've got it. I've got a Jango Fett, or I've got a Luke Jedi, put it in a star case, put it on the wall. Now, I'm really meticulous, and I know other people are meticulous about this kind of stuff. Action figure grader, Tim from Bosk's Bounty, most people are. But I still can't decide which of these two I'm going to open. Is that a blemish there, for example? It's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare. The other thing I've found recently, in recent weeks, is, especially when I was trying to open my Lando, it's just sod's law. When they've got a really nice card back, there's like scuffs on the bubble. And when the bubble's really clear, crystal clear, you'll find something wrong with the card back. It is a fucking nightmare. Ah, look at that one there. See that? Hang on. It's nothing. There's nothing to it. Look at that. Can you see that little... What is that? That's like a little press or something there. Must have come from the factory, that. But this one is the best one because in the bubble, he looks great. He's looking right at you, dead ahead. But then again, surely the figure you have loose should be the one that looks the best. Now, I'm worried about this one because his eyes look a bit funny, man. I don't know. But anyway, I really wanted to open this hand because I don't have a proper Han Endor loose on my shelf. I have all the, like, I've got a Luke and Leia that I recently opened. They're up there, can you see? Got to get a Han to go with them. But speaking of Han, do stay tuned to a separate video. I'm going to do a video where I open this Han Endor, which is an old one for the VOTC. Got this for a bargain because I do want to do a video on what is the best Han Solo in 3 3/4 inch. And I haven't filmed that video yet, but I've kind of got it ready. I've got like the VOTC here, and there's loads of good figures of Han, and I'm going to open that one as well. So stay tuned because I'm going to explore that and find out what is the best. And also, fingers crossed, I can't even cross my fingers properly with my left hand there, that Hasbro will give us a proper Han Solo and Luke and Leia in TVC before the curtain goes down on the cardback bubble. Oh yeah, I just wanna open my figures. If I don't, my nigga triggered, yeah. I just wanna open my figures. If I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna. Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one 2 more of these to open. Looking forward to doing that, but over here is where I'm going to put them. I decided a while ago that I'm going to maybe open a couple of retros and Easter egg them inside my displays. There is already one retro over here. I decided to open the Vader, as you might remember, and he's there. And this is an original Ben, actually, with the repro cape. I did that the other week, so I quite like that idea. So next up is Luke and Leia, and there's a couple of Luke and Leias. I opened that recently, and these I've had for a while. We're going to talk about the VOTC and Han and Luke and Leia, and where are they, and are they going to be in the vintage collection before the curtain comes down and bubbles? If that happens, I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out about that. But still, for now, can't wait to open these. Never had her as a kid. The only Leia I ever had was, I swear to God, it was just Bespin Gown. That's the only Leia I had, and never had this one. And Luke, what did I have for Luke? I had Jedi Luke and I had Bespin Luke, but I never had this. I always wanted Luke Tatooine, because, you know, it's just like a New Hope, isn't it? But never had it. I had friends who had them. You know, when you go around to people's houses and you play with their figures. Oh, I need that. Oh, I want that. Yes, well, these were 2 I always wanted. But still, now I'm going to open the retro equivalent, which is the Ultimate Repro. Look at that, though. Brilliant. I think they're going to look nice just together, you know, brother and sister. The twins, the Force Sensitives. And it's obviously very topical as well now, what with Kenobi running as I make this video. So I'm going to mount the camera and just get them open. Right, now I've got no problem opening these retros. These are a spare set I had. That's what happened to Vader. I'm sure he nosedived. I had a spare set that I found a set in Asda in 2019. I think it was around about November 2019. And, you know, I have one carded of this set as well that I keep in my collection, in my carded room, right? But these are not so good because they've got these behind them. I don't really mind, but you could get these, the imports, and then they didn't have the leaflet behind. They don't really bother me, but they do bother some people. But I've also bought recently the unpunched ones of these, which you can get on Hasbro Pulse. I don't know if they're still available or not, but I can't wait to see what they're like. Hopefully they won't have anything in the bubble, and obviously they're being unpunched. That'll be great. So here he is, Luke. Wow, man. If you have a sniff of him, he does not smell anything like the originals. No, they had a very distinct smell. Very nice indeed. And I've got no living memory of what the lightsaber was like for this, because I never had this figure as a kid. I always remember the Vader lightsaber was really, you know, I don't want to say translucent, but the plastic has that kind of thing where almost like the light shines through it. You know, there's a semi-translucency and almost fluorescent looking kind of thing. But there's Luke. Interesting story about the fact of why he holds a yellow lightsaber. Go check out Retro Blasting if you want to find out more about that history. It's amazing. Oh, jeez, I can't get him to stand. Damn it, there's a stand somewhere. I'll use this one. I got that in a job lot years ago with something, I can't remember. But they're really good for vintage figures. He was quite hard to stand on his own. Boba Fett can stand all right. Let's just try Fett. Yeah, he's got legs further apart there. Right, and now to the princess. The princess, she's here. Princess, what's going on? Let's get her open then. And here she is. Wow, look at that. I mean, there's, you know, I bought a vintage Leia in 2016 because what I did was I think I opened the VOTC Leia, right? And I kept the card back in the bubble and I wanted an old vintage Leia to put inside. So I bought an actual vintage 80s Leia and it wasn't in that bad a condition. It was quite pink on the body, but I can't remember what it cost me now. And I don't think I even had oh no, I might have used a repro cape, but I just recarded it, but it was not cheap. But this is a figure of all of them that's really expensive, the original 80s, but that's a lovely figure actually. For all the, it's like contradicting myself really. I've been talking about retros recently and saying how, you know, I'm not really one to display them because I like my figures to be, you know, as screen accurate as possible. Forgive me, I'll just put Maiden in here. This is the best Maiden. It's got nothing to do with Luke and Leia, but I'm just showing you that is the best Maiden we've got. He just happened to just be on the shelf below me. And until they update him, you know, he's my best example. But yeah, I like figures to look as good as they can be. Like these are really lovely, sculpted, and look at the facial details and stuff, whatever. But, you know, you can't beat this look. I come from that era, so I can totally appreciate why the beauty of these figures. And maybe even younger generations like them as well. I really don't know. And obviously I think Hasbro like them because, you know, they're probably cheaper they are a lot cheaper to produce. But what the issue I have with retros is them making like Mandalorian and the new projects they're making, you know, like Kenobi and stuff. I think they should really keep this style for the stuff that used to look like this. And, you know, when they make new stuff for the new properties, they should make them the best they can be. Like a Black Series figure is not going to be like 5 points of articulation, is it? You know, a 6-inch figure is not going to do that. They give it the best treatment they can, and that's what the 3 3/4 line inch is as well. Why is that given second treatment? It makes me a little bit mad, to be honest with you. I mean, this line is the best because look at it. We can have vehicles and we can have figures. You know what I mean? Very passionate about 3 3/4 inch, and to conserve it, you know, not make it second fiddle to anything, man. It should be their priority. Anyway, these are beautiful figures. I like them very much. Whoa. And, oh my god, where's our weapons? Surely there was a weapon in that pack. But still, there you are, Luke and Leia. I think I'd like to just put them on the shelves for you and show you how they look up by some of that modern stuff, man. And there they are, man. They're lovely figures. There's just something pure about them. I might do a bit of a change around on here now. I might make this shelf or some of these props to sort of coincide with a bit of a Han, Luke and Leia piece overall. For example, this is a classic. This is the cinema scene for Han and Chewie escaping, sort of Death Star escape, or it could even work for the, I don't know, Mos Eisley hangar maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so I'll open the Han and the Chewie for the retros and have them in here maybe too. I might need to have this over a couple of shelves. This is a really nice piece here made by Solo Shot First Mike. I'm actually even contemplating having this VOTC Leia. I'm going to talk more, as I say, about the VOTC and what the future holds for the definitive Leia, definitive Han and definitive Luke. Still waiting for a farm boy. Definitely still waiting for the best Han to be made. Since 2004 we've waited, but this Leia definitely of all needs an update. I'm actually thinking about having this Luke here. I think I've got another Luke like that I'm cheating. I did a bit of army building with some stormtroopers over here. One of those is a second Luke. There's about 3 Lukes in there, or maybe 2 Lukes and 1 Han Solo in there, which is quite funny. So I might get another Luke. So you've got to have Luke and Han there like that. Have a Luke standing with her here, because, you know, you'd be too short for a stormtrooper. Oh, uniform. The first time she sees her brother, that we know of, is when he's wearing a stormtrooper uniform. So I could do with having them sort of escaping the cell block with Luke in there. Obviously I'll do something with this. I'm not quite happy with that yet. I think I might try and do something with this that came out of the piece that I opened, if you remember. Have that in the background. And I've got Luke and Leia like that. So what I'm going for is a kind of like on the shelves, every now and again, apart from when I'm telling the story of the events of A New Hope and the characters, the main ones, and the events, I've got like certain shelves that I've dedicated to sequences, you know, and within that shelf I've got every type of figure that I really care for that tells that story. So on this shelf now we've got, you know, old Ben v Vader from most of the decent releases anyway, and going back to Power of the Force 2 there as well, cinema scene, fully articulated with soft goods and so on. So that's it. I'll do the same for Luke, Leia and Han. Quite exciting really, it's just constantly evolving. I hope you have enjoyed that video, which was an opening of 2 retros plus a little tour there, a cheeky little tour as to what's going on here. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned.
Hello there, only One Kenobi. I am leaving a little question for you because I'm a big fan of the page. Been following you for ages. Love your videos, love your content, love your collections. I particularly love the prequels. I'm a big fan of the prequels, and in particular one of my favourite Jedi is Kit Fisto. So I would just love to see more of your Kit Fisto collection. I know you've got a couple of them, so if there's any chance, I would absolutely love to have a little look at what you've got. Thanks.
Daniel-san, Thank you for the question, Daniel-san. Yes, man. You want this, don't you? Yeah, this is really expensive now, Daniel-san. In fact, Kit Fisto, a brilliant figure in the vintage collection. I have him over here. He's on my Revenge of the Sith shelf. In fact, I'll get him now. This is probably one of the most expensive figures I've ever opened because I did have two. They were both unpunched. The other one I had looked dead ahead in the bubble. Can you see this one is kind of like his head is cocked. He's looking from right to left to right. Weird, really. But this is a much better card back condition. Let me mount the camera. Hang on. So I got this one in 2017 in a job lot. So it worked out about £30, maybe less, £22 each that were in the job lot. Mad. The other one I bought was £40. And I tried to sell it for a little bit of a profit, so say 60 in 2017. No, I lied to you. It was about 2016. Maybe November 2016 or 2017. I can't remember now. And do you know what? I couldn't get rid of it for love nor money at that price. And then in the end, I took it off the market and I opened it because I just kept looking at the figure thinking, my God, it's such a good figure. And everyone is convinced that this figure, that's kind of how he looks in Revenge of the Sith. There's a certain look, he's got a swagger. I love how Kit Fisto looks in Revenge of the Sith. And he's mean, man. He just like, well, I think it's because he's walking alongside Samuel L. Jackson. Too bad he gets picked off by Sidious pretty quick. But look how he looks on there. You see his eyes are slightly smaller. Maybe they contrast like pupils on a human do. I don't know, but he's got quite wide eyes there. But this is a brilliant figure. And this, as I say, cost me £40. So I opened it, man. I just couldn't wait. And thankfully, for me, they haven't reissued him. But they might. I don't know, Dan. They might bring him out again. You never know. He's got a lot of connection. As you know, I know that you've collected recently the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars figures. They're bringing them out again, and a lot of those are reissues of figures from the Clone Wars, like this. Well, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon, from Attack of the Clones. Like this is a figure that came out in 2011 or 12, and it is, I think it's 2011, and it is of course Barriss Offee. She got reissued in the Genndy line, which I know you picked up Aayla Secura in that line. They could by all means bring out Kit Fisto again and Mace Windu and others, you know, but still they haven't yet. The other Kit Fisto I have is this one right here. I've got the original one from 2002. I keep all of them together. They're very kind of statuesque, these ones, but there he is there. I don't know why he's facing that way. His eyes there look more like he did in Attack of the Clones. As you know, he has that cheeky smile when he force pushes 3PO. Kind of a nice kind of Jedi, isn't he? And I have this one here. This is from 2005. But I purposefully have him facing away because I don't rate the face on this one. Look at that one there. He kind of looks animated, actually, so he's perfect, that figure from 2005 Revenge of the Sith, to have in your animated Clone Wars sort of like shelf or area of display. And that's all I've got for Kit Fisto. I don't think I have any more. But there's no argument, this is the best. And if anyone can help my mate Dan get hold of Kit Fisto. Fisto, I don't know, Fisto. Yeah, let me know, because I think the market is insane for him now. We're looking at $100 plus, $70 plus import I saw, but that's for a damaged card that's unpunched. But still, brilliant figure, an awesome card back. But man, it's rising up the value ranks. You know, it's insane. Hope that answers your question, Daniel. There's a little look at my Kit Fisto collection. Thanks for your comment as well. Awesome.
If you would like to be featured in the next show, then leave a brief voicemail, be it a question or an opinion of your own, at Only One Kenobi, Facebook and Instagram. Links in the description.
That brings us to the end of another show, but here is the section now where I'm going to do a couple of quickfire comments. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, if you want to just leave a comment, do it on either this video or the previous episode of Only One Fans. Probably best if you do it on this one, since I've been reminding people that they can leave comments. And this first one comes from a guy who left a comment a few weeks ago, and he said, I guess you only take voice recordings. Oh well. But I said, no, Stephen. I said, no. I will also answer regular typed comments from the comment section. And he says, okay. And then he says, what are some of your favorite alien species, and also what Jedi characters figures you don't have would you like to own? let's start off with the aliens. I'll keep this nice and simple. I'm a big fan of Niktos. Weequays are awesome. But do you know what? In terms of one thing I have recently grown to love, Green Nikto I'm going to go with. All based on how beautifully they made that figure. Woof. Masterpiece. Jedis that I don't own that I'd like to have. I'm not going to give you a Jedi, I'll give you a Sith. He used to be a Jedi. Exar Kun, my man. That is, oh my God almighty, I would love to have an Exar Kun, but I had an opportunity to acquire him, but it's a long story. It didn't happen in the end. But there you go, you win some, you lose some. Also, a message here from a guy I've never heard of. Usual Mike Television, must be a new YouTuber. Hi there, Mike. Welcome to the channel. I'm only joking. Hi, Mike. I don't know why I said that. And he said, this is a while ago, he asked me this. Where do you see your collection in 25 years? Bigger, more carded, loose, or sold off? Well, the last thing I will get rid of, when push comes to shove, will be the loose collection. My vehicles and my loose figures are a work of art. You know, they are telling a story. They're all articulated and they're doing a beautiful job. But the first thing that would go would be the carded collection, because sometimes I just think to myself, man, I just don't have the space for anymore. I'm sick of it. And part of me just thinks, cha-ching, man. You know, I don't know when's the best time to sell it. Am I best leaving it for now? But part of me sees the dollar signs, and I got a few things really cheap and I could probably sell for a big profit. But then again, Mike, I will walk in here one day and I will just think, oh my God, I love this room. I don't come in here often. I'll be busy in the week, but I'll come in at the end of the week and I'll see a row of Gamos on the wall, or I'll see all the TIE fighters all together. And I'll just think, oh my God, that looks beautiful. Sitting on a gold mine type thing. Anyway, thank you for that comment, Mike. And if you want to leave a comment, please do below in the comment section. Or if you want to leave a voicemail, do that also via Facebook or Instagram. On the voice notes there, tap the button and leave a little message. It doesn't have to be a question, it could be just a comment, an opinion, your thoughts on the Kenobi series, and I will address it accordingly. I look forward to hearing that. All in all, that's been a fantastic show. It's been a bit longer than usual, and it will be a little while until I do another one. I'll try and do it as soon as I can, but I'm just letting you know it'll probably be in about 4 or 5 weeks. I will 100% be free to do as many shows as I can. But until then, it might be a little bit tricky, so don't be disappointed if it comes to a Monday and there isn't one ready. There will be one soon. Thank you for listening. I have been Only One Kenobi. You are the one and Obies, the only one fans. Bye for now.